Of course you do. And, you know, I think, Tom, you actually look a little bit like Jonathan Taylor Thomas from the show. You have to look up later on. Handsome man, great head of hair, so maybe that was a bad comparison.
All I'm looking at in this match is Cloud9, they need some training. EG, they're just trying to, you know, keep things on track. It's the perfect map for us to go to, Jason. We're kicking things off on train. We're going to have ourselves actually quite a aggressive push out here. Ten's already able to get the opener. Bomb actually dropped in the open. Ethan's going to try and push further onto the site. In the last pistol round, we saw Daps with the triple, but also it was Stan with the triple. We'll see who's going to be stepping up this time. Already Tarek has turned it back into a 4v4, although it's more of a 3.7 as Daps is so low on HP that he really could be put down at any moment. Yet to retrieve the bomb, but not really any reason to do it just yet. So much time left on the clock, and Tens will spot out a little bit of a peek from Stan. The only real problem is all that utility they had early on, or the pieces they had onto Stan and Tarek are already gone, already diminished, and Mixwell was coming in on a hot flank in behind Stan. Finally, we're going to get that clock ticking, and the CT side are going to opt to try and overwhelm Stanislaw, just to give them that man advantage now going back into things. The problem is you do have 3 more terrifying players left to kill off on the evil geniuses. Mixwell will succeed with 1, actually gets the second, and now Ethan has to try and clutch this out, and he's not going to be able to. Both players so ridiculously low. Oh, is he going to get the ninja defuse? We'll never know.
They do take the round nonetheless. So credit to Cloud9 to bounce back, considering UG had the initial start. Good shots coming through as well. Mixwell with the double. I mean, that basically just gave him the round. If he didn't hit those shots, I don't see them ever winning that and being able to pull off that ninja defuse.
Here we go. The meta buy. The 2 SGs being bought up. Tarek with that gun. And, well, a scout in onto Cirque as well. So still some opportunities here. This is where those SGs really can do a fair bit of damage in these early round scenarios. I really want one of these scout shots to hit. Actually, it's going to be Breezy peeking out, but he actually goes down without too much done. Circles are going to get tagged up, but I think him and Mixwell just traded, and I feel like Ethan's going to have the majority of the heavy lifting to do in this round, especially now that Stan, well, obviously has only a deagle, and Tarek already getting tagged up. He does a lot of damage and actually gives Ethan more of an opportunity here. However, 2 of the remaining rifle players are yet to take any damage.
Yet to really show themselves too much either. Well, speaking of that, Ethan trying to get down the ladder. Will take a hefty amount of damage, though, before he does get his feet back on the ground. And Stanislaw with a hell of a shot there out of the deagle. Ethan had some information of where they were going to be, considering he did get shot up. And that's all in Stanislaw and Ethan to push in together. Mixwell on low health. He's going to fall. Now the last man alive is going to be Tens and a one-on-one up against Ethan. He knows he has him low on health. Can he hit the shots? He's not going to be able to. Ethan strikes back, gets his 4th kill in the map, 3rd kill in the round. And yeah, what is it about Pro League right now and winning pistols and losing the follow-ups? It's obviously the economy changes and stuff like that.
No, it's the SG. Yeah, it's the SG. Like, especially with the T side, it's just, that gun is so ridiculous that, especially on a map like Train, like, I will say that the way that that round sort of span back was quite surprising considering the situation they were in, but it's just so damn good. Not only, you don't even need to scope half the time, and then when you do, you have an inherent advantage over any of the rifles on the other side. Even the AUG has now been dampened a bit just to make it that little bit worse, and I think eventually it will happen with the SG. It does make things very exciting, I have to admit. Like, a lot of these aggressive pushes just seem so much more clean when you have the SG in hands, but it's still just one of those weapons that at the moment is clearly defined within the meta. Although Mixwell's deagle is going to be able to drop one of them. The Stan, okay, I think the second he can have a gun, Tarek is going to show off the Galil a little bit. Well, this force spy coming out from the CT side is not working too well. It looks like Kusta may have saved up a little bit of extra money in order to get an AWP for Mixwell later in the match. Or maybe he'll be a bit greedy and keep it for himself. He is a pretty decent AWPer at times. I think it was Dust who said he's a sort of jack of all trades. Like, he really has done sort of everything within Counter-Strike. I don't know if he's ever in-game leaded a team. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Well, Evil Geniuses, after losing the pistol round, are going to take the next two. Still have two SGs, Mac 10 and Galil to bring into the next round. And Dap just hoping to pick up a weapon here somehow, but unfortunately for him, there's not going to be anyone near him. There's not going to be any gun for him to secure, but we'll at least carry over the CZ. But EG, I mean, obviously some fun between the two teams. Seems to be playing a lot better today. A lot better today, I think, is a safe assessment. And maybe that's what they needed. Maybe they put too much pressure on themselves over the last 2 days, even though they did win their series 2-1.
Well, that is quite a common thing, like, within most sports, is that obviously you have the goal of finally, like, winning an event, winning a big tournament, and when you get there, there's a lot of relief, and maybe you take your foot off the gas for a little bit, which I think for EG they can't, because they've still got many goals to fulfill. There's obviously the major, which it seemed like this was one of their best opportunities, and with a lot of teams rebuilding at the moment, I think it is only going to get tougher. I think it's only a matter of time before this Na'Vi team comes good. I think Vitality have started to look better, although Heroic managed to take the top spot in their Pro League group, so who knows. But I think this is a very exciting time for Counter-Strike, and this is not the moment where you want to be having like your slip-ups. Luckily, sure, okay, they win New York and then Malmö doesn't go too well. In Pro League, they've done enough, so that's absolutely fine. But moving forward, that's where we want to see the EG at New York back, where they were just like very clinical with a lot of their map wins. And
well, that's what I wonder about the team is, can they do what Astralis and Liquid have done? Can they have like that period of time where they're just dominating every single tournament?
Well, I think people were surprised with how long Astralis were able to do that for, especially coming back with the major recently after Liquid had like a period. Like, I think it's much tougher to do it nowadays, especially when you compare it to like really far back. If you go like to NIP or something like that, like the level of competition nowadays is, well, tenfold. And also you got so many organizations now looking to break into Counter-Strike and build up these young players. Like you can even, like, if you go to somewhere like Denmark, there's actual places to like learn and get better at like video games, which is awesome. So I think there's going to be more competition coming up time and time again, and I think teams having an era, I think it's going to be rarer, but at the same time, there will still be teams that are able to, like, well, just be that good. I think that's what's so impressive about what Astralis and what Liquid have done recently, is being that dominant. Either way, we are into our first Byron, and Mixwell, he's got his AWP in hand, so I was excited. He is now dead, unfortunately. Well, not a lot of utility, so had a bit of a sitter there. Isn't going to be able to get that opening, and with Ethan already going down, he's been one of the players to really step up thus far in this map. Actually going to have a rotation back. Now, the CT setup here is not a bad one. The only problem is normally you want an incendiary grenade to stop a rush down the ramp, or maybe a smoke for upper to try and make things a little bit more difficult to get out onto the site. They have neither. You've got Tens, who has a couple of flashbangs, and he's going to be sit fairly far back within the site, and unless he times them very well indeed, it's going to be fairly difficult for them to hold on.
You can see that stand, though, trying to force the attention towards him as the inner hit's going to be coming in. Dap's waiting. Dap's waiting first, a little bit shaky on the shots, but eventually he will fall. Tens is going to be here as well. They need to deal with him. And actually, in the meantime, because he Stanislav flanking from behind, the problem is Tarek's already got the kill, so maybe the presence isn't needed out of him. And we also see Automatic trying to push up on the bomb train. He does take down Tarek. He gets searched by himself, and now Stanislav has to hurry. And he's going to have to deal with Kusta watching. The defuse wasn't being stuck. Actually going back through, and Kusta will get the kill. So Cloud9 do bounce back in the round, get themselves up to 2. Great job by Automatic as well to just push up like that to catch out Tarek, to give them the man advantage on the actual site. They knew Stanislav was at least back towards the A site, considering the smoke he threw earlier on in towards Ivy.
Yeah, the real problem is, though, for the CT side at least, is the curse of winning the pistol and losing the second round is not only does your money get absolutely owned, but your opponent's then gets buffed. So you look at already, like, there's a fall buy here for the T side, but they also have a little bit of money in reserve as well. quick push coming in, no AWP. Well, actually, no, there is an AWP for Cirque, but he's going to be a little bit further back as Tarek looks to lead the charge. Breezy is going to be the first to be dropped, and Mixwell once again finds the opening pick, but can he continue this? Because last time he was caught out fairly quick. This time, it's automatic to take the fall. He's got so far forward, Tense doesn't even realize, and Mixwell, go walking through the smoke. This is just a weird round. Now, this Mixwell was to get 2 kills, just hiding. And finally, Ethan there to put him down. Luckily, the bomb has been planted, so the time is ticking. The question now is, has the student become the master? As his old in-game leader looks to try and punish him. I will say the weaponry is a little bit unfair.
Daps might have the drop, though. He's gotten up close.
He's got no kill.
And he's got no kill. And no HP left, unfortunately. Ethan gonna clutch it out with another 3K. EVGS is going back up to 4, and I didn't catch the money on the side of Cloud9, but I would imagine not gonna have too much to spend.
No, they only had 2 players surviving in the round that they won, and, well, they've just lost 1 straight back, so.
By the way, I actually wanted to bring this up earlier, but while we have a second, since it's gonna be basically a save, on the note about like the dynasties created with Astralis and Team Liquid, I feel like now that we've been seeing teams be able to do that, like your NIPs back in the day, that it puts a lot more pressure on any team that wins a tournament, because then their fans think, all right, well, they won this big one, they beat a big team,
yeah.
All right, they're gonna win the next one, right? And if you don't do that, obviously you're gonna get a lot of hate from the people who have been supporting you. So creating that dynasty for yourself, I feel like, is gonna be so difficult for any of these teams outside of Liquid and Astralis.
I think Prius might want you to talk about the fact that
there's a big stack, yeah.
Stacking players.
I was getting there. Don't worry, Prius. Apparently someone on Reddit thinks I hate you. It's only half right.
Yeah. Well, we do it, well, I think it was Stunner every day has been booking a cab and leaving him behind, but other than that, we love Prius. just not in our cup.
Oh, this is a lot of damage done, to be fair, though, on the side of Cloud9, and now Automatic does have the SG. Nade comes directly on top of him and dunking him. Kobe for Stanislaw. EVGS is up to 5. I could just see Prius just sad right now, because he was promised a big ride yesterday, like a bigger car, and then and then it didn't happen because it was too far away. But 5-2. EVGS wanted to see what they could do on Train. I still want to see what Cloud9 can do with a proper buy-up on the map. Maybe get the double up set up for them.
Well, Amapet said in the interview, if they get 5, then they're happy. Which,
I don't think they're stopping at 5.
Yeah, I don't think they're stopping at 5 either. But at the same time, if that is their mark, I think we're in trouble here for Cloud9. Like, this is not what you want to see. Like most teams would set the bar a little bit higher, but it seems like EG very confident in their CT side. I don't really blame them. This is a map where gaining T rounds can be a bit of a grind, but they've started off so strong that it hasn't really been one. I will say that their money's not in the best of states at the moment. If they were to lose this round, especially without a bomb plant, you might get a solo warp from Cirque, but other than that, everybody else's cash is in the toilet. That's not a good place to keep it, Jason.
Kusta on 2 or 4 health. Just getting spammed out. EVGS have done some decent damage considering they haven't really faced anywhere. They've gained control of Ivy. It looks like Mixwell's going to throw in a Molotov to help delay any sort of push from coming through. But with 40 seconds, we know that push will be coming eventually. But Kusta's kind of left to his own. With no health, if he falls, I would imagine Mixwell, Automatic, could be overrun in the site. Luckily, Mixwell does back off in towards Z. At the same rate, if Kusta times this correctly, he can actually flank him behind the bomb and down this one. 15 seconds left to go, and they have to make their move. They're trying to come in towards CT spawn. They're flank running towards inner, and Breezy's able to take down Daps. 10's going to be waiting. The bomb going to make its way on towards site. The bomb should be planted here momentarily.
It's quite a risky plant, but they're going to get away with it. And, well, now that it is down there, fairly well set up. 10's gets dinked, and Cirque dead as well. So Ethan and Tarek now going to have to defend, and they don't really have those deeper positions they would have been hoping for. They're going to be cleared up quite simplistically. Oh, that's so risky. That made me really uncomfortable.
1 HP fall.
A team ace. There you go. Teamwork makes the dream work, Jason.
But can it win you matches?
Occasionally. I'd say most of the time, actually, yeah.
Well, we'll see if Cloud9 can do that then. Third map is Nuke, if we can get to there. And Cloud9 looked good on Nuke yesterday against Complexity. I think it was a 16-9, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look back at my notes.
I don't even know if it was that much.
Or sorry, what?
Was
Oh,
it
sorry,
7?
it's United versus Cloud9 that I was talking about, and it was 16-7. Too many teams with C's in their names.
Oh,
that
dear.
nade, wow.
Oh, dear. That's just a straight-up nade stack onto automatic. He hasn't had the best of days so far, and, well, it's not getting any better. Just some pistols invested in. Cirque, in fact, doesn't go for a solo hero warp, and actually just gets himself a Deeg and a couple of nades instead. Still, any damage they can do here will set them up wonderfully for the next round, and it does look like we're going to get a few different individual peaks with the potential to attack this A site. Not actually anybody watching Ivy at the moment. We do see TenZ eventually switch his gaze in that direction, but is he going to be able to stop them wrapping around? Because that could be a big problem for them, and it's all going to come down to timing. He's now looking away, so Ivy is completely open. The smoke going to come out. He'll finally look back in that direction. And I think they're going to run through their own smoke. But this is just the perfect ruse to try and stop TenZ knowing any real information. They managed to get all the way down the side of the train. That's the thing, the CT side don't really know too much about what's currently going on. Finally, they look to pounce on top of TenZ, and he's holding things nicely. Actually going to get the kill onto Ethan, quite surprising in the end, but Breezy's found 2 back. In fact, 3 already in this man's hand, but Mixwell is very well placed, and Daps will close it out. Still not a bad round for EG, with some cost caused for Cloud9.
I mean, consider they invested, what, a couple of pistols, a smoke and a flash?
I think a little bit of Kevlar for Cirque, but he had some extra money.
That's kind of unfortunate. 20 HP left when he's getting hit with a Glock consistently there.
I always like the sort of calm of professional players where they're like getting spammed like that and they just go, and now to slowly pull out my pistol, aim right at their head, shoot, get the kill, and act like nothing went wrong.
It's that composure you gotta respect out of them. I'm surprised Kus hasn't been punished a little bit more from building so aggressively towards Pop, and just as I talk about it. Yeah. Actually, Cirque gonna go for it. There we go.
Oh, he just about gets around the corner. Fair amount of damage done. Automatic. Gonna get a freebie kill. Almost gets caught changing weapons, but will win the battle versus Tarek as well. They're starting to grind this back a little bit on the CT side. Of course, if I'm a pet is anything to go by, he said all they need is 5. But I'm sure they won't be feeling too comfortable if things do slip away from them from this point.
Yeah, the money are going to be hurting on Evo Geniuses yet again. A couple of pistols being bought. We did see for the quick second there. You can see automatic plane back towards Pop, completely catching them off guard, considering they already were able to kill Kusta at a Cirque from T-mid. Flashbang for Stanislaus, so obviously looking just for the bomb plant here as they're going to rush straight towards outer. Breezy and Terra going to lead the charge, looking for a couple of deagle shots. They have some long-range ones to hit, and also 4 players to contend with here on the outside. Seems to be going all the way of Cloud9. I think the first 2 kills and the third to come in, and yeah, they're going to shut down any sort of push out of Evil Geniuses. Ethan alone, and a flawless round for Cloud9 as they do go up to 6. Getting a stabilization in their economy. But now we're going back into the gun rounds. I wonder if they're going to go for double up. I don't think Tarek did have one. We know how strong it can be on a map like Train.
On the T side?
No. Cloud9. On CT.
But Tarek doesn't play for Cloud9.
Oh, sorry.
Not anymore.
I didn't see TenZ with one.
It's been a while.
TenZ and Tarek, they both have T's, all right?
They both have T's. That's all it takes.
Come on, you saw me talking to Azza earlier? You know what happens. I'm not going to talk about it on air, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we're not to see the double up for Cloud9, and I wanted to know if we actually would have it happen. There we go. So TenZ will be picking it up. Yes, not Tarek, TenZ. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And he's actually going to be going towards outside with it. So does that leave Mixwell on inner? Actually going for a double peeking towards mid off the bat and leaving Daps to just defend alone.
The T side, at least this time, back with a purchase. An AWP not going to be in the hands of Cirque, but it may allow them for some faster plays in this round. I quite like to see a burst onto the B site. At least initially, they are going to make their way in that direction. It seems with the aggression of Kusta, they can somewhat gamble a second player back in that direction, so Mixwell will be the supporting cast for the DAP show. Smoke and flash already going to be expended in that direction, but that just seemed like a way to try and bait out a little bit of utility from the CT side, and they are now going to get the smokes going over the top. One into connector, but the rotation has already come in. Now upper they go. Lots of damage being done. The T side somewhat struggling to make their way into this site, and that's because there's 4 defenders. The last man is actually holding off in case they rotate back, and now Kusta's even going to make his play forward. This should just be a slaughter on the B site, and the Evil Geniuses will fall without much of a fight at all.
I think Daps had 2 bullets left and was still able to get the kill on the man pushing out from lower.
That's all it needs.
Well done by Cloud9 though to really put their foot down. Considering how things went on in Inferno, they took 3 rounds on the CT side, but it was closed out. Sorry, 1 round, yeah, if I can read my handwriting correctly. As it was closed out, and it looked like with all the talking and the hype coming out of Evil Geniuses, we're wondering what kind of Cloud9 would show up on a map like Train, but they have.
Well, that's what you're wondering. I'm wondering if Daps has it written into his contract that he's the only one on his team who's allowed to have a beard. Because it is just so well shaped that I feel like he doesn't want any competition.
How does your mind go to that?
I don't know. I'm a bit weird, Jason, in case you haven't noticed.
I think 10's a little too young to grow one.
Yeah, rest of the team.
We've never seen automatic. Have we ever seen automatic with facial hair?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe that's how he created the team. It was just like, I'm going to pick people who don't have beards.
Yeah.
To be fair, he does have a very nice beard.
So who has a nicer beard, him or Forrest?
Well, Daps is here, but I'm still going to say Forrest. That's not a fair comparison because he's been growing his for the last like 30 years.
Well, that nade did a ton of damage. I think Daps connected with that as he does finish off a couple of kills. Should be a clean round. I imagine Breezy's not going to connect too many shots. Cloud9 should go to secure that first round half, so 8-5. Getting really scared here because they're taking forever to kill him, to be honest.
Oh, these last few rounds have actually been really good from Cloud9. The defense on the B site in the last round was impressive. They had the right read. They got all the information very early on, and basically were just able to hold on to the site. That round was flawless as well, so their money is booming.
I reckon Mixwell can grow out a fantastic beard, by the way. If we can ever get a zoom in of his face, like a real high-quality zoom in, you can see he's got the potential there. Just got to let it grow. Maybe he'll decide to when they start winning games. And then potentially it'll come along as Forrest's. Anyways, 8-5. 10's get aggressive, actually, towards upper. A lot of information being gathered out of him in this position. And Daps just kind of playing a little bit of a float to help him out if they do come his way. They're rushing straight out of teammate. Stanislaw opens things up on Akusta. Automatic trying to respond, but unfortunately he will fall to Ethan. And now Cirque with the op. Yep, they want this outside site, and they're going to have it. They still need to get the bomb towards the site, speaking of it. As Ethan's holding on to it with 10 HP. Tarek just shooting out the feet from 10s. And there we go, bomb going down. And Cloud9, I mean, they have so much money left to spend. We might as well go for it at this rate. Oh my gosh, Tarek wants a knife, and Tarek gets it. Clearly the superior T. And now Daps sneaking up. I just wanted to see, I really wish we had the camera on Tarek's face so we pulled it up in a box there while he was chasing after that knife. Because I would imagine he was freaking out.
See, maybe now that Stan is no longer on his team, Tarek's starting to grow a beard. Because if you notice how no one on that team has a beard either. I'm not saying
Maybe
that
that's
it's...
why they got rid of Daps, because
Yeah.
like, we want to grow beards.
I'm not saying
let
it's a
us.
conspiracy theory that Daps doesn't allow his teammates to grow beards, but just
Can we
going
hit
off
up Anders?
evidence alone, off statistics.
Can we get Anders on the line and ask him if that's a conspiracy theory he follows?
Maybe.
Because, you know, you're starting to get me on this. I'm starting to believe in it.
9 out of 10 players, excluding himself, or 9 out of 9, I guess you could say, of his previous teammates have not got beards. So there you go. Fact.
To be fair, like, why would you ever want to grow one when his is already so perfect? You'll always look pale in comparison to him.
That sounded like more of a personal insult towards me rather than a fact
No.
about his team. Just like, you will never.
I mean, your beard is nicer than mine, so I'll give you that. At least you're beating me. Oh my god.
Ethan getting a filthy opener. Even though they slowed down quite a bit after, what was I think, was it 5-1 scoreline? Fairly far up in this match. Oh, 5-2. I was close. Thank you, Briz. Now, starting to get the last couple of rounds. I don't think it'll matter too much when going onto that CT side. They need a hero, and Mal, that round ended so fast they didn't even get to build any hype. 8-7. A decent finish to what was a bit of a slow start for, or a slow half, I should say, from EG. At least a nice resurgence after the 5-2 start for Cloud9.
You know what I'll do here while we head to a break? Whoever can Photoshop on Daps' beard onto the entirety of the roster of Cloud9 and sends it to me. The best one, I'm going to give away a CSGO pin. A Series 1 CSGO pin.
Ooh.
I have like 30 of those sitting under my bed back in Germany that I've just not done anything with.
I reckon Dust just started editing.
He might have. He might. But Dust has a pretty good beard as well. But obviously, we're going to have to head to a break here momentarily. But currently, we do have Cloud9 in the lead at 8-7. But will 8 be enough on the CT side? We're going to have to stick around and wait to find out.
Turn my heart into something gold. No, I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go.
EG's coaches, Chet said in the interview, we only need 5 rounds on the T side of Train. Well, you know what? They got 7. And we'll see if that'll be enough to close out the map and the series for them and go 3-0 in the group. First team that would be able to do so far, the 2 groups that have been played. Still have quite a few more Counter-Strike, quite a bit more Counter-Strike coming up in the next few days. So have Group C with Team Liquid and Renegades in there. Group D as well to come up after that. And the Betway odds, that's about right. Jace is looking pretty solid to take this map, to be fair.
Yeah, it may be a close scoreline, but 7 rounds of the T side of Train is pretty damn good, although we definitely saw a bit of life out of Cloud9, which I'm hoping they can build upon. Tens, again, having a much better day today. It is unfortunate that it comes in one of the matches which doesn't really help with their fate. Well, doesn't at all, unfortunately. They have finished last in this group no matter what. And for anybody wondering, that is based off head-to-head. They have lost to the 2 other teams. Obviously, EG already have 2 wins, so there is no way that they can finish above anybody within this group. But they can at least gain themselves a little bit of pride, try and take the fight to their North American brothers, and already not the best start. Tarek is going to find an opening pick. I believe that was an aggressive play up the ladder, so yeah, I think he just found himself a kill in behind them. The push now going to be coming in from Automatic out main, but it seems like they're just splitting every direction, and the bomb going down in pop. That's pretty much as bad as it gets for the T side. An impossible position to try and get that back from maybe Tens if he pulls out some ninja skills and just jumps down and headshots Tarek. Maybe he can try and kill him from above. Both players unable to connect the shots at the moment. Tarek, okay. He tried to play with his food a little bit here, and Tens already going to be able to get one. The problem is there's only 15 seconds, and Cirque will headshot him anyway. Another round on the board, and the pistol for EG.
And that would have been the 2nd time that Tarek knifed Tens in this match.
We call that bullying.
And there's some people who I heard we can call to help with that, if we need.
Oh, no, that's Ghosts.
No, I didn't ask who you're going to call.
I could try calling them anyway. They've got giant lasers. I think that will work against some kid being mean.
Or they're just going to enjoy it and have a party.
Shut up, Jason.
Look at this, pushing up aggressively for Cirque to take out Mixwell, and the other players are going to be over towards Ivy, and maybe Cirque's going to continue to push here, just to gather the information. But it doesn't seem like he's going to do so. Going to play composed. And Cloud9 looking to, I was going to assume, push through. But they've actually rotated 2 players back, and I guess they kind of have to. They have to make sure no one on the CT side's pushed up against them, which Tarek is now doing.
Not going to be over-facing in this scenario. No one to allow Cloud9 back into this round. Of course, they didn't get a bomb plant, so the force buy that they've come up with doesn't involve any SGs, which, as we know, are ridiculous. Breezy, gotta be careful. Will spot Tens' face, but only for the second before he rips off his opponents. Actually, it looks like Automatic's tempted to try and push the smoke, maybe taking a leaf out of Stewie's book. Making his way forward. Booster's actually going to win his duel, and Automatic does as well. Maybe the pistols will be enough. It's left on to Cirque and Stan. Is Stan going to check the corner? Nope. So that'll be a free kill. And now Cirque left into a 1 versus 4. This should be impossible for him. Only an MP9 in his hands, and his opponents have already managed to achieve one of those of their own, but also a rifle.
You actually might be able to still pick up a kill if they continue to go towards Ivy. I mean, 2 players are in the close vicinity for it. And it's going to be Kusta, actually, the one that Cirque might find. Maybe some extra money in his pocket. Or not, or Kusta's just going to kill him. So Kusta stays alive, gets himself 2 kills, picks up the SMG, and just like we saw in the first half. One team winning the pistol and then losing the follow-up. And it's Cloud9's turn with the SGs to punish Evil Geniuses and get off to a flying start, and I think they're going to need that when it comes to Train. I think you've said many times, one of the hardest T-side, if not the hardest T-side map out there.
Yeah, definitely in the moment. I think the SG becoming more prominent does help out a little bit, especially with their Orc not being as bad as it was, but even still, it's a damn tough T-side, and It's very easy to run out of ideas when it comes to this map, although I do come to expect a lot of daps. He should have a fairly deep strat book, especially playing up against his old team. But I guess that works both ways. Like, he knows their tendencies, he knows a lot of the strats they probably have, but at the same time they know nearly all of his strats. So does make things a little bit more difficult. This round, at least for the CT side, the buy is not the best, and with 3 rifles on the other side, it looks like Cloud9 are playing things relatively safe, wanting to make sure they get off to a strong start on their T side. Tarek again, going to be trying to use the ladder to his advantage, and well, it seems like the T side is starting to counter that aggression and caught him out a few times in a row now. Only 1 defender left. It's Breezy with the Deeg. There's going to be a check coming in from Daps. He manages to get the kill, but left onto just 10 HP, and while his rotating teammates, or teammate, has been caught out. May just be worth Cirque saving the FAMAS, and well, Stan, he does only have a P250 in Kevlar, but it's still better than nothing.
What would you rather save? A FAMAS or a Galil?
Well, FAMAS.
And you can't choose neither.
FAMAS. Easy.
Okay. A Galil or a Zeus?
Or a Galil.
Yeah, I thought your hatred of the Galil would transcend.
No, not to that
logical
regard.
thinking.
I can't use the Zeus. I always miss or hit them for 80 and then just get really angry.
We did see that happen on Dust 2 a couple days back.
But you see it anytime you watch James Bardoff play.
I'm just not going to say anything right now on that one. I have had the honor playing with him back in the day quite a few times. I was trying to clutch and he was talking about his keyboard. And then I did clutch.
Which one?
And he kept talking about his keyboard.
One?
One of the 89 he has, I think.
Plethora of keyboards.
Yeah. Well, here we go now. Cloud9, 10-8. Off to a pretty damn good start, considering they could take an 11th round here, especially with Evil Geniuses only having the FAMAS and a P250. Flashbang going to come through. Evil Genius is not able to capitalize off that, unfortunately. Ethan's trying to hit a couple of shots, but yeah, Daps, he ain't having any of that.
Yeah, a lot of this is going to come down to the 1 rifle on Cirque. Now, if he can get an extra kill or 2, then maybe he gives himself the chance to get an AWP. I think at this rate, he can probably afford 1 glass cannon, which I imagine he will still go for, being that it is Cirque, but I'm sure he'd like to try and pay for a bit of Kevlar along the way. It was easier said than done, especially when his teammates currently left with next to nothing. Sure, Stan has managed to keep the P250 in Kevlar, and somehow Breezy still manages a kill. Cirque has actually found another, but tag low should be closed out with any real problems. While Stan being a little bit sneaky here, does at least get 1. Still making things costly for this T side, forcing some rebuys. Of course, they won the force buy themselves in the early rounds, and as mentioned before, that is a great way to make a large amount of cash without too much effort. So if you are looking to boost your economy early on, just make sure you lose the pistol. But you have to be very good at winning second rounds, otherwise it's kind of null and void. And to be honest, if you're that good, you could probably just win all the rounds.
We're going to have Cirque on the op. They've been able to secure that. He's got cannon, though, so it could be unfortunate for him, but I like the investment. Trying to set him up nicely over on the bomb train. They actually left Stanislaw to his own devices over at the inner site. And he might have some company as there's currently 2 players over there, but I like how he's backing off. Going to play for a retake, play for the rotates to come through when he does need it. And Tarek again. Well, that's aggressive in ladder room, aggressive in middle. He really wants to try to take away some real estate from the Cloud9 boys. Breezy has to be careful. Tens is almost looking to give them the man advantage that they could use to take a 12th round. And there's really no utility left for Evil Geniuses to kind of stop any sort of push from coming through. Yeah, they have 2 flashbangs and 1 incendiary, but retaking is going to be so difficult for them in their current state unless they're able to get some of these kills.
Luckily, that's something that EG seems to do better than most. Flashbang going to leave Tens blind. He will be able to get past at least the AWP, but not past Tarek. now the T side are going to be setting up for what is a B play. Now Stan does still have an incendiary, but he's not really in a position to utilize it. I think he's going to just try and bounce it onto the bomb site to deny that plant for a little bit longer, and it will mean that there's going to be less control of the site. And actually more CT players have rotated in. They'll have the support of Cirque's AWP, although he is going to miss that initial shot. He's still someone that they have to worry about, but as you mentioned, there's no utility left, there's no kit. This is all just going to come down to raw individual battles. Stan is going to kick things off, but automatic holds. However, it's left all onto Mixwell, the Spaniard in North America, trying to keep them in the lead in this round, but the Molotov holding him back, and that 10-second defusal continuing to happen. Don't even think he realized he had more of a chance to try and deny that, but ultimately saving the AWP is probably the better decision. And EG are going to break right back into a 9th round.
I was starting to get a little bit worried for Chet, considering the big words out of him saying they only needed 5 rounds on the T side. They were starting to struggle here, and the buy wasn't looking too good, but credit to Stanislaw to pick up the 2 kills to allow him to push back in towards the site. And now they have the buy they wanted. And they have Cloud9 hurting on money, though we do see 10s on 3,300 currently. They do have a Galil for Kustin. They do have Mixwell still on the op from the last round. I'm still waiting to see him start to... Oh my lord. Can we send that to production to get that on air? That'd be great. So at least one person has sent in a nice little Photoshop of Daps' beard on everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so Aquatic Astronaut.
We'll see if that's going to be the winner.
It's a pretty cool name as well.
Easy trying to challenge out towards Ivy, and Ten's going to win that trade. Again, Ten's been able to hit a really good amount of entries. Saslock coming in, not expected though, and it does eliminate his counterpart on Daps. And the bomb's actually rotated back away from the outside. You can see Mixwell trying to carry this back towards Inner, though. You have Tarek already pushed up. Might actually catch him on the cross in T-spot. And he's going to spot him out, but it doesn't seem to have mattered because Mixwell hits the shot and leaves Cirque by himself in a 1-on-3. And actually, he can... I was going to say, if he goes up ladder, he can catch out the bomb right now. And he's going to go for it. Can he get the shot? Actually looking the wrong way, and Mixwell will get down the ramp, will get into the site. And if you're Cirque, I would imagine you have to just save this weapon.
Looks like Cirque just going to be held into a save here. Or at least be able to take one man down with him. Now, there's not a whole lot of money for this Cloud9 side, so they can't really look to overface. Not realistically, just going to keep this into the next round. Yeah, that's interesting, actually. I think we've been... Is it the same one twice?
It is the same one twice.
Because I got DM'd
I have 3 people that sent the exact same picture. So clearly, too lazy to Photoshop. All of you lose, none of you win. Get the hell out of here.
I think it seems like... What, was Ming first?
Yeah, but, I mean, Googling an image and then sending it in a tweet does not count as Photoshop.
Was that not... But how'd you know he didn't just do it and then...
You know what? I'll reverse Google search.
That is a good idea. We'll reverse and we'll find out who did it first.
There ain't cheating here, ladies and gentlemen, the Pro League. Oh, there you go.
I don't know. Cirque might have other ideas about that. As this guy can just dominate around. He's got to try and do it here and now. As it's actually starting to look like a Cloud9 victory. We've been having a bit of fun with it, but realistically, this could be possible for Cloud9. Look at the stack, though. Everybody's here. There is a flank coming in from Daps. He may be able to realize that this other site is clear. And actually, Cirque's going to rotate away just as they look to make their way in towards this site. He's going to make his way back around, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't just peek right into Mixwell's hands. Smoke going to be going down. That will actually give him a way to get back into the site. This could have worked out in his favor as they now go pushing in onto the side. But look at Daps. so perfectly placed. He could just ruin the round. He may not even need to, as Tens has found a kill instead. We're going to watch the defense get crippled by Cloud9. We're now sat 13-9. Cloud9 just 3 rounds away from taking train. So Minga said that he actually made it. And I think he did tweet it to you first.
You're saying that those other people that tweeted it were also following him and saw it? Because I have now 4 people that said that.
Could it just be, well, either we've had a lot of edited photos, or someone could have just seen what was tweeted at you. Because what was that in reply to?
No. Oh, okay. Well, that was a really old. Yeah, I don't know. We'll take time to investigate it after the map, Tom. We still need to focus at the moment that Cloud9 is 3 rounds away from taking the map and throwing us on over to Nuke, which they have had a good performance against United yesterday.
The funny thing now is, I reckon that you're going to get more and more people tweeting that same picture at you now that you've said it.
See,
now that you've said it.
You think that, but there's no way people on the internet are trolls, okay? That doesn't happen. Everyone is kind. Yeah, he can just open the image.
I know.
And let me see the layers. Okay. So he actually might have legitimately done it, and then so other people just took it.
It's so hard to tell. Oh,
Credit
God.
to him to actually go that in depth. He really wants that pin. And you know what? I might just give it to him for the hell of it, for putting that much effort into it.
Oh, God.
Well, they'll buy it back in for Evil Geniuses. They still have the op for Cirque. Again, utility very lacking, though it didn't seem to matter in the round they won prior. They're trying to hit these shots, and Chet might be eating his words here, Tom, because they said they only need 5 rounds, though the map isn't over just yet. I understand that. But so far, it's looking pretty damn good here for Cloud9. It seems like the aggression out of Tarek hasn't really worked out too well for him. You think back to, I think, 2 rounds prior when Mixwell was rotating back towards the B site with the bomb. If he takes that kill, they take the round, almost certainly. But let's see. Gonna be pushing back up again in Cloud9. So not necessarily guaranteeing the direction they want to go with 40 seconds left.
Starting to get quite low on the clock. They've left Stan alone. He still has an incendiary if they do opt to rotate back to the B side. It looks like that might be the plan. It's going to be a fake thrown in from Kusta, but he does manage to get the opening. In fact, he gets a second. And while the bomb is going to be planted on the B side, there's nothing that Stan can do to stop it. Ethan will find one. Stan has got another back, though. And somehow this round just swings back into the favor of EG. It's left with Tens and Mixwell trying to hold on to this round. Tens goes down, but Mixwell's still fighting, hovering above the flames as his opponents get ever closer, just trying to hide within the site, burn down that clock a little bit more. They don't have a kit available to them, but Stan comes up from above and jumps on the bomb. I think he's just about got it as well. A couple of seconds left to spare. But EG are going to steal that round away.
Seen Mixwell on the ladder, by the way, there, when the Molotov under him, it looked like the real-life equivalent to the floor is lava. But unfortunately, not able to clutch it out. And again, somehow Evil Geniuses with really no utility off the back of just Ethan hitting a couple of shots. Cirque as well.
That is truly beautiful.
I think...
He's even moved the beards around. He sent me a picture.
I think Automatic, to be fair, looks damn good in a beard.
I think Tens kind of owns it, and Kuster actually as well.
It's not fair. It's like Daps' beard goes well on everyone.
I kind of want to see my face with Daps' beard.
Yeah, can you do like maybe the talent list as well? Maybe I'll throw in a second pin on that.
I want to see Dust with Daps' beard.
No, Oboe with Daps' beard.
Dear Lord, it's just getting out of control. A bit like the map, Jason. There we go, we'll bring it back. Tease, well, more so Automatic has already managed to make his way out onto the electric box. Ethan's got to be careful. His feet are showing. Actually, it's Tarek who's the one that takes the hit. Still plenty of time left, and few shoulder peeks coming out from Breezy. That's going to be information gathered up. He now knows that they've lost Ivy control, and the sneak out from TenZ is going to be spotted. Kusta now falls, and it's left just onto 2 remaining players for Cloud9. This is all their money invested into this round, and TenZ hits a wonderful deeg to get them back at least within inches of this round. He gets another as well. This could be the moment he steps up and he leaves Mixo in with at least a little bit of hope. Gonna fake the bomb, but Breezy's not buying it. In fact, he's gonna fall back. Gonna leave the rotation. He knows the stand's coming, and stands in such a powerful position here, but Mixo's able to get back around the corner. Tries to leave himself close to a lot of the remaining angles that are gonna be pushed. Is he gonna expect Stan coming in? He's in such a strong position and just ends the life of Mixwell. Another round on the board. And the money, as said, is not there for Cloud9 anymore. They do get a bomb plant. They do get a little extra bit of loss bonus. The question is, well, are they just gonna save here, which I think is more likely, or are they gonna risk it just to try and break EG's economy?
Last one, by the way, Tom. Cirque and Breezy with Daps' beard. There's so much potential.
Yeah, it does look, it does suit a lot of people.
Maybe just has that universal beard, you know? Doesn't matter who it's on, it's gonna look good. Hell, throw that on Frankie and I'm pretty sure she'll still look good. Here we go, round 25, and it looks like Cloud9 have decided to go for a relative save, just invest into some armor for a couple of players and the pistols. I still wouldn't count them out just yet. TenZ's Deagle has been on fire on Inferno and on Train. He's partly the reason why they, actually majority of the reason why they got the bomb down in the last round, and that was a great shot out of Automatic directly, or sorry, onto Breeze from the Breeze onto Automatic. I'll get there eventually. I'm just too distracted by beards nowadays. You do have the man advantage. Actually, Breezy, is he gonna push past this? Maybe Dap's not expecting it. Well, we'll net him a second kill.
This round, I don't think you can really expect too much from just the pistols, but a bomb plant wouldn't be bad. At least give something. Mixwell manages to connect a shot, but Breezy not really allowing for much more. TenZ just going to be trying to get that bomb down, and he will succeed, at least something. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to this round. Would need some Esperanto level magic. I'm really enjoying this. Some of these are fantastic.
That's Forrest's beard on everyone's face.
It's not even Forrest's beard, isn't it? Just his face.
Well, it's his eyes and down, and the hair. That's the thing of nightmares, honestly. That is straight up nightmare fuel. And right now, the nightmare fuel is coming in the form of Breezy getting a nice 2K towards Ivy. The dream of Cloud9 take it to a third map might be woken up soon as we go into the next buy. Mixwell back on the op. They have the SGs. Utility will be a little bit light, but Evil Geniuses are waking up on Train. Again, could be the first team to go 3-0 in the group. And Kusta playing with fire peeking out straight in towards the op out of Cirque.
Well, the difference now down to just one round. The CT side starting to rise back up, but their money's still not great. Breezy only getting 1 kill. May not be enough. TenZ actually going to go running through the flames, but he's got to be careful because Stan's just waiting around the corner. Turns things into the CT's favor. The bomb going to be retrieved by Kusta. Just look how far Automatic's managed to get out. This has been something he's been able to do in a few different rounds, just being a little bit sneaky with his positioning. Clearly finding a few holes within the defense. The question is he going to be able to get the kill? No, Stan still gets the drop on him. Just rotating into different positions and causing trouble. Mixwell now. Oh, it's a similar scenario. Gonna try and sneak up. Did Cirque really just make that peek? That is just dirty. And while all alone, Kusta 1 versus 4, and there's nothing he can do. Scoreline will be equalized. EG grinding this one back. And the question is, have their opponents, Cloud9, hit the brick wall?
Very important round now for them, considering EVOGaces could go up to 14. And the bye's really not too there for Cloud9, though we have seen them be able to win rounds like this before. Able to do it on round 2. Well, round 17. As I lost the pistol and came back and won the second. But then again, that was with SGs. But let's see, Kusta with the scout. 10's on the deagle, and they still have a decent amount of utility to actually get in towards the bomb site. Incendiary thrown in. Stanislaw's going to have one more, though. And even Breezy's flanked in from Ivy, so they know the direction they're going. They're going to start to rotate back in towards the inner site. Flashbang's being thrown in. Cirque needs to hit these shots, and he will get the first.
Yeah, this is already looking fairly rough in terms of actually winning the round, but once again, the money is going to be made by Cloud9. They'll give themselves a big boost to their economy to make sure there is going to be a buy in the next round, $800 per player. Do you know how much that is total, Jason?
14.
$800 per player.
Oh, sorry. I just assume you're talking about rounds, because I'm just... I can't stop looking at Automatic's face with his beard. Like, I mean, if it was dyed, maybe like black, I'm not gonna lie, he could pull that off.
So basically you want it to match his hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Rushing straight out. Automatic trying to lead the charge to get Cloud9 around back on the board. Cirque, though, looking to say something about it. Turk does push through, but pushes to his death. Luckily, Ethan's going to be there to return. And Stanislaw not going to be expected out of Kusta. And that's going to be now a 3-on-2 in favor of EVOGaces, putting them onto map and match point. And Cirque actually might catch out Daps. And what a flick out of him. That was insanely quick. And Mixwell again. I feel like we said this so many times so far in this match. Alone. With everything to do. Luckily, he has the bomb. But he still has 3 players to find.
Not a minute left for him to play with. Chances seem slim, especially with Ethan up above. Like, it's going to make things so difficult. Just slowly making his way forward. Is going to be able to get around the connector. If he can make his way into B, there's a chance he catches that. But look where Stan is sitting. He's so well placed for this. I don't think Mixwell stands a chance. And just Stan seems to be in the right place at the right time. All the time. And that's now going to be their 15th round. A grind back from EG. Definitely not been an easy road, but now they just need one more round. Of course, they've already secured their place at the top. But can they do it in style?
Well, looks like a timeout's coming in. I'm gonna guess that's on the Cloud9 side. Yep, there we go. I didn't check the money they had left after that round. I knew they threw basically everything into it, though. They tried fast playing out towards the outside bomb site, and well, it hasn't worked. Dude, Cirque with a beard, with Daps' beard.
So
that is
awesome.
legit. I think I don't think
your DMs are closed. That's why I'm getting sent all these messages.
They can just tweet it to me. They don't have to DM me it, you know.
I don't know. I'm enjoying all these DMs. Either way, it is going to be that attempt to try and fight this back.
Just be happy those are only pics you're getting in your DMs right now.
Yeah, please don't send me anything else. Thank you very much. Unless it involves photos. Here we go. CT side once again have kicked this off with a bang. It's left onto Mixwell and 10s. Mixwell should be able to sneak around the back. And will at least give them a chance. Even retrieving an SG into his hands and somewhat isolating the CT side from the site. These are the 2 players, at least within this series, that you've wanted to have in these clutch situations. Molotov actually going to be extinguished, and it's left all onto Mixwell. He manages that opening pick. He needs to get the quad kill to close this, and he's just 1 kill away. Tarek going to be going for the diffuser, but I think Is he even going to stop him? He's going to go for the knife, but doesn't quite get there. Tarek is going to be there to close out the round, being a little bit sneaky with the defusal. And that is going to be EG taking the victory, 2-0. They get this group 3-0 in the end. It was a bit of a rocky road along the way, but ultimately, the team we expected to come out on top did.
Well, you said you wanted to see Evil Geniuses finish it out with style, and I'd say finish it with a defuse like that has indeed done it. But I'd agree, Evil Geniuses, it was a rocky road indeed. And Cloud9, you have to wonder, 0-3 in the groups, I think they probably looked the best today so far, at least on trade. But maybe they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what to do, because they now face relegation. Evil Geniuses are going straight to Denmark for the finals to join MIBR already there. And you know what? We're going to have to head to a break, and when we come back, we still have one more match to come up today. And we'll see you guys soon.